this computer. All right, it's now recording. Share my screen. Okay. Hey, Shane. Do you still have 30 minutes for this founders interview? Products?
Yeah, definitely, man. So what's on the agenda for today?
Yeah, I was just going to, quickly ask you some questions about how you work remote and around that, pain points. Yeah, just kind of customer development questions that I have with regards to my product development.
Cool. All right, man. I do have 30 minutes. I have just 30 minutes though.
Oh
So
yeah, we'll be less. We'll be less.
yeah, I'll try myself not to be too wordy. So I'll try to be simple. If you need more information, just ask me follow-ups.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I only have like 10 questions, but some of them might have like sub things. All right. Yeah. Do you talk to colleagues at work, or what's the dynamics?
Yeah, man. So I mean, my co-founder is in Australia. So basically, about at least 4 nights a week, we get on
Okay.
the phone for 2 hours or so. And it's so my evening is his morning, so it's not like we're kind of recapping. I'm updating him on things. We're looking at MVP updates. We're bullshitting a little bit too, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
friends, so we're going to talk about whatever's happening between the U.S. and Australia. um, so yeah, so that's right now, but obviously, like, I'm a business of three, so I'm a very strange business, right? If I look back to all the other times I worked remote in like a proper corporate job, which was plenty,
Yeah.
and really good systems. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because I feel like what's happening right now, I was just doing 10 years ago at Google, because we had Google Docs, like we
Right. Right.
meetings all day, like that was normal. So this is very normal to me, and like, so talking to colleagues, um,
Okay.
yeah, the
That's
question
good.
by talk, like that's really the loaded question, because it's
Yeah.
communication and there's so many ways and forms. Like, if you ask me how many times I was on the phone with my colleagues over, like, let's just say just like a 10-year slice of my corporate when I work remote, I would say maybe in the beginning when conference calls were more common, but very little. On chat a lot, though I personally don't really like chat. And then obviously we've all got email, and then really the video hangouts are, like, to me, my favorite way to communicate with people most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like high bandwidth. Um, what do you call it? Okay. So you said a team of three or whatever. Are you doing like business meetings, or how are those dynamics, or
I mean, we have done. We actually have some coming up with some potential partners. So, um, but I mean, you're talking about like pitching clients. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, or like any business development, or kind of like external company related, I guess.
Not so much, but I'm curious why you're asking, because maybe if I know why you're asking, I could try to just answer in a more hypothetical way what we would do.
Yeah, like I've been going to some webinars. So they've been like indirect meetings for like government contracting stuff. Not really one-on-one, kind of like Zoom. And
Okay.
then also like some investor, what do you call it? Some funds had some like kind of webinars and then more interactive. But yeah, it's not really
Oh,
what I
so
guess I.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Tim.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess I was wondering if you were doing like intimate one-on-one like meetings with like a specific customer, or potential customer or anything like that, or how you do those, just over the phone or email.
Yeah, so I do a lot. I mean, I do most of my customer interviews over video chat.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Right.
So, and then I do screen share like you're doing, because I'm usually showing them some screenshots,
Okay.
or if it's a friend of mine helping me with my terrible slide deck, showing them, get some sympathy with that, having them have to touch the Google Doc themselves, because no one wants to do that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know.
so,
Okay. Okay, yeah, so just basics, like what do you got?
but I mean, I guess again, like, what would you expect, as far as, do you think, like, and I mean, I go to webinars. We haven't done webinars ourselves. We're doing podcasts as a form, but that's not really, I don't think, a good metaphor here.
Okay.
Um, but like,
Yeah, I get. So yeah, I guess do you pay for like a Zoom license, or is it sufficient without just like Google Meet or just free Zoom?
I don't anymore. I used to.
Okay,
Um,
okay. Let me see here.
I mean, I definitely would again. Like, if I mean, I think I would. Like, let me say, like, if I just fast forwarded Ohana, right, and like, um, what would I want for a team of like 300 that was spread over 10 offices, and like,
Right, 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 right.
um, I think that's kind of like a better way to think of it because so like some of the things I like about Slack, though I'm not sure you need to reinvent them, you just need to access them, is like how it serves as like this natural Wikipedia, so you
Yeah,
don't
right,
it's
right,
like
right, right.
like just wiki for your business, so you don't have to create, the documents kind of create themselves and get archived, right?
Yeah.
Or
Uh,
get archived opposed to like this kind of massive SharePoint document creation ritual that happens and it's like once and done, and so they kind of become boring, right? So if you couple like Slack with Google Docs that are constantly updating, that's kind of a nice feature.
that's until you stop paying for Slack, right? Because don't they like kind
Yeah,
of like
I don't pay
just
for it anymore either. I don't know.
okay.
And I notice I'm on some groups like with actually other entrepreneurs, and it's funny because I don't think they're paying for it anymore either.
Right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm on some too. It's like you've used all your messages, 22,000 or something.
I think that's really interesting, like trend though, right? To notice. I mean, there's something there, that gives you some opportunity as well, right? So, but let me actually back up, Tim. Like,
Yeah,
we
sorry.
talked a while back about like, I don't know, like a tagline that was something about, do you know if your remote employees are happy and well or something?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was what the Slack project manager or developer that I had. She kind of touched upon that when I asked her, like, what do you wish was in the Slack marketplace that isn't there?
Okay. Oh, got it. Okay. And so like, and then, but then if you're gonna tell me like, I don't know, I like this thing about intentions. Like, what's your kind of intention here? Like, if someone's gonna walk away super excited, like I know we're talking about MVP stuff, but if they're gonna
Yeah,
walk, you build everything you want, like, but they can only tell me three things. Like, what are they gonna tell me about what you're using that like, Shane, you gotta like either you gotta use it or you've gotta pay for premium because premium's so much better.
right, right.
Years from now, like just use your confident imagination.
Yeah, I'd say you'd have like a numeric value to mental health of individual, kind of whether they're like, I don't know, maybe some heuristic of physical health plus social health plus
Wow.
I don't know, like yeah, there's all kinds of dimensions, right? But like when you're working from home, like I worked from home for 2 years, and a lot of times you just don't talk to people for a week or 2 weeks, or just other than the people you work with online, but it's not like real human contact, So it's kind of I don't know, yeah. Um, but yeah, so yeah, that first thing would be the God, some kind of mental health numeric quantifier, so you would know like if maybe the employee is suffering, whether and how you gather that data through like subtle things with a bot through Slack or something. And then the second thing would be yeah, just like company events and like happy hour, hangouts, spontaneous things, uh, automated, coordinated schedules with some kind of bot system instead of like, yeah, I don't know.
Like, so the question I asked you was the
Yeah,
person who's using it. And remember, the user may not be your customer. The customer is probably the business that is paying.
right, right.
But I don't think your user is going to come out and saying, "Oh, Tim put a fucking mental health note."
Right. No, 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 no. That's for the MBA who's running for Scrum. So he knows like, okay, where's our, do I need to start hiring another guys that's got to get a drop off or?
But what's the benefit? I mean, you need the users to benefit from this. Obviously, we know what the benefit is to the company. The problem is for people like me, there is a perception that the company benefit is not aligned with the employee benefit.
I guess in my mind, my interpretation is, hey, if you have a more healthy employee, whether that means they're more exercising more or like engaging with people on teams more, that'll have a direct correlation to the performance of your company.
I'm not saying your premise is wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
Okay.
why would the user who's getting that. Like, what is the benefit for the employee? You're telling me the benefit for the employee.
Oh, so B for XYZ Corporation. What's the benefit for me to interface with the software?
For Shane Nantais that works at XYZ Corp and maybe doesn't really love the company. Like maybe the company,
Right, 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 right.
and I don't really want them to know I'm going through a divorce and my mental health
Right.
is suffering because of things out of my control. So
Totally, totally, totally.
I'm not gonna go down my privacy rabbit hole. I want incentives. You need to motivate people by their own, like what's right in front of their face. And I just don't hear yet what the user, the employee is getting. And it's got to be touchy feely, but and like I'm gonna put I just say something because then I have an idea for you, but I don't want to put words
Okay.
in.
No, yeah, yeah.
You go.
Oh, you. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. No, my older brother's the same way. Like he's just telling me how he has to. His manager always try to like extract information on their one-on-ones about his personal uh, life to so that he can then have leverage or information asymmetry, but he won't really share any about his life. And yeah, he's just tell me about that and just trying to keep it like clear cut and not, you know. But and I had that experience too with my last manager. Like it was just weird, kind of uncomfortable. It's just like, what's the point of this one-on-one, dude? Like, this is a waste of our time. I don't know.
Remember, most employees, the trope is most employees think their manager's nuts, right? So the employees, can the employees see the manager's score? Like, what's
Oh, right, 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 right. Ooh, that's a really good one.
I think you could do something more like an empathy quotient, you know what I mean, or a social quotient. And it's not that you're judged on it, but you can kind of. It's almost like, have you heard of this company called BlaBlaCar in Europe?
Nah.
It's actually really funny. So it's like a carpooling Uber, but the reason it's called BlaBlaCar is because you either choose when you sign up, blah. I don't like to talk that much, blah blah. I'll talk a little bit, or blah blah blah, and I won't shut the fuck up for the whole ride. And that's like their filter, which is actually brilliant.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. It's classification.
Yeah. Uh, um, though now I don't remember why I brought that up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I could see that directly being productized, whether it's around like personality types, and then you can this manager is this type, and then this employee is this type, but maybe this team's this kind of type. Maybe you should work on these other types of teams where the personalities blend better together.
Well, but also remember, and I think this. So this is what I was going to say. I think you've got something perhaps in your name that you don't realize, which is if you're going to start judging people, you have to
Yeah.
everybody. And so I think acceptance AI, maybe something that could be very interesting is that like maybe the employees actually crowdsource that information and filter up like maybe or maybe you join with a bunch of diversity organizations and like different ability type of organizations, blind, deaf, like this, like
Right. Blind is what came to mind.
all these people who have challenges and different language learners, like all these different like, and because like these are also people that often have mental challenges, but like get
Yeah.
don't have a fair chance in the workplace. And so
Yeah. I have ADHD, so
yeah,
I'm surprised I got a computer science degree, man. Like,
that gets the learning style, and learning style and work style, in my humble opinion, are much better matches than a personality test that was made by
okay.
God knows what.
Right, 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 right.
We were pretty heavily categorized at Google, and I didn't love it.
Yeah.
But I do think things like that blah blah car of like I like to talk. Oh, I think that you know what I mean. Like people,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
like that one. That's super cool and like simple.
yeah, it's just simple and like maybe it's more like instead of you having a number value, maybe the employees can self identify. You would be surprised at how many people will probably actually honestly tell you on a scale of 1 to 5 smiley faces how smiley they feel. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
things.
then you're saying, what's the feedback loop then when you have that self-identifying with
I'm just thinking about different ways to make that a benefit of the employees and have them kind of have more power over the data, but not be able to manipulate it,
yeah, yeah,
get benefit, and it's they're gifting it to the company that's going to do the right thing with it. So what are they
Okay, yeah. I
like?
like that.
That's what I would want to know is like, what are you going to do with this data to make my mental health better? Because otherwise, I'm just going to assume you're going to use it to make me work harder or less, or
Yeah.
me, frankly.
We had that in place when I was working remote 2 companies ago. It was like a stand-up bot, basically like every day, I had to input what I do, and then it's getting, aggregated into a report for the middle management to keep tabs on me.
Yeah. Oh, hey man, so I got like,
Um,
you want to just show me the
okay.
other options and see if there's anything else that is there?
Yeah. So you already told me how long you've been working from home for. Yeah. What are the biggest problems you encounter working from home, or that you've seen in your history? Is it like,
Uh, I mean, I don't know if it's working from home because I had this problem in offices as well. And maybe it goes back even to what I was saying with Slack and the one thing I do like about Slack. But I think I just saw actually a startup got funded for this, Mighty something. God, it was like uh, shit. This is a couple days ago. But anyway, and it's so funny because basically what they do is they're just basically like a meta view of all your SaaS tools. Like how many articles do you have in Atlassian? How many articles do you have in Slack? How many articles do you have in Zendesk?
mm-hmm.
So document management I think is hard at home, and I wish that let's again I don't think Slack nailed it, but I kind of liked how most documents were attached to conversation. So it was you
Okay,
searching,
totally.
you kind of pardon me, kind of know what the most hopefully it's the most up to date one.
Yeah. Is it an email? Is it in Google Docs? Where was that document? Yeah.
I've got multiple Google Docs accounts, as I'm sure you do too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and like so again,
Oh, right.
but but like
I've had that. Yeah.
when I think of your like my personal desire for your product is to be more like a virtual secretary's desk or architect's desk, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Morning, and I can like open it all up, and there's my whiteboard, and there's like some messages around some products, and there's like kind of all these, and like maybe there's some drawing tools because I'm creative, or maybe like I like music, maybe there's like some music thing, like my Spotify, and it's more like this kind of like dashboard that I get to kind of like rock up to that I kind of create, and then it has maybe there's that some sort of wellness rating, like how are you feeling today, like hey, you want this upbeat playlist, like
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. That'd be cool.
want to be like, oh, I see you're listening to The Cure. Would you like to take an antidepressant? Like,
Right.
like, but and then maybe there's a way to get like a queue in there for people to kind of like raise their hand to talk to you. You know what I mean? So even if because I work a lot asynchronously with people,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like yes, there's Slack and chat, but that's noise. So like to kind of cut through the
Yeah.
almost like
It's
somewhere.
almost
Like I always reference Wave. I just think Wave is so ahead of its time. But like
wave.
this would be somewhere between like I guess a thread you'd have with people on a project like a Yammer style and like a video chat, or maybe like I've never used Marco Polo, but like you can leave videos maybe for people, talk to them.
I've heard about that. Yeah. Right. Call it
Yeah, check out
Marco.
Marco Polo. It's consumer, but I think the usability might be an interesting.
This this one was House Party was pretty interesting. I was playing around with that one a little bit and stuff. Interesting to see Epic acquired it and just nurturing it or whatever they're doing. Okay.
Yeah, it's really.
What else? Yeah. What's your favorite software tool right now that you're using for remote work?
I mean, I guess you just have to say Jira, right? That's where you keep all your
Okay.
years, right?
Never, I never really liked Jira or Atlassian. Um, I
What
don't
do
know if it's too. I like the simple, slim down like Trello kind of style, but I understand the reason for having those other like so you can see the burn down chart and like that kind of stuff. But
I mean, personally, if you're asking me like what so if I was gonna do one for my well, I have. I mean, I've used Trello a lot personally. But last thing
yeah. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it's true.
Jira is awful UI. They're trying to make it better. It's getting there. But I just think for like even if like actually I was talking to Charles yesterday. He basically said like, no matter what, I'm going to pay for my Squarespace. And I'm like, yeah, okay, your Squarespace is like your storefront. Like for me, since I don't really have a storefront yet with the app, though that's coming soon. Like, I mean, I don't really pay for Jira, but like the business will not happen without Jira. Like I have to think about what software makes the business go.
Right. Totally. Yeah, same with me for Gmail or Google Admin kind of thing. But I don't know. I think I might want to get away from Google.
I think
Um,
because I mean, I think Zoho is another interesting thing to look at. You should check out
yeah,
Zoho. They're interesting because they're like a Microsoft Business Office Suite competitor.
yeah,
Still a startup. The guy who founded it still runs it. Pardon me. And like, I reckon if you like dug a bit deeper, they'd probably have some interesting like lab stuff that was happening, and might even be like an interesting like see what kind of development stuff they have. Like, if Salesforce is too annoying, maybe you could like do
yeah. Salesforce, Jesus.
you know because people do like a lot of SMBs, and that like goes to your audience. Like, is your audience big corporate? Is that who you want to sell to, or do you want to sell to like
Sell to everybody, man. We need all the revenue we can get, and there's only three types, right? Consumer, enterprise, and like government or like education.
yeah, there's three colors, but every color has 1,000 hues, and we have to start with the first hue.
Right. Good point. Good point.
I think, I mean, that's the theme we're hearing a lot. Okay, sorry. Anyway,
Uh, yeah, I don't know what time you got to jump off at. I think we're still only 20 minutes in, but if you want to end it on time, you got something else to get to. Last question was, what features would you need before you pay for $50 a month for this product, and would you sign a letter of intent for a future date when you have 100 employees or 50 employees to where you would want to leverage this type of software?
so Tim, say it one more time with
Sorry,
confidence.
yeah. Basically, what features would you?
No, just a second.
Uh,
For the letter of intent.
oh yeah. Would you be willing to sign a letter of intent, willing to pay $50 a month for the software at a future date and time when it's the appropriate time for your business phase? Because it might not be, if it's just you and three guys, right? It might not be, it doesn't make sense. But if you're at like later stage where you have like 10 employees, then it might make more sense.
Correct. So wait, did they give you this? Did they give you this wording and say you had to say this exact thing?
So right here is like the word for word.
So I just think again, this is
If you give me a product with the following feature list, yeah, what features do you require that you'd agree to pay to try, and if it performs to my expectations, I'll pay you X dollars per month to use it. Will you sign this letter of intent? Email me simple.
okay. Well, we definitely need more time than 5 minutes to talk about it. I don't know what I'd pay you $50 for, but if I have to go back and rack my brain, what did we talk about? Why don't you recap what you think I would pay for? Because that might be
Yeah, you wanted something like blind where you're empowering the employees with both like the way the data is being consumed by the organization, and they're getting an incentive to use it, and it's benefiting them, opposed to like management having like a tool, kind of the opposite dynamics. And I think that's what you wanted or would like. Yeah, I
and
believe so. Oh yeah, and then also maybe a little cues like, hey, maybe you should listen to some upbeat music kind of thing. I really like that one. I think that's great because music totally affects my mood.
well, if you yeah, like I guess, and again, this kind of goes back to preferences, like almost like taking people through a welcome where it's like, what's your relaxing, like music, taking a walk, like taking.
Yeah,
Obviously, you're not going to tell someone to go take a bath, but like you could remind them, like, oh, do you have like the salt you need to take a bath tonight? Like, obviously,
yeah.
but like, um, because I really think so. The other thing that you missed though was the
Damn.
I
Was what?
want some way to take documents and make them more
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
textual. Because like I will pay to save time and to save doing duplicative work with just a few people, right? So like that's a value to me. If I only have a few people I might still pay for something like this if it's saving me so much time that and people aren't redoing documents. Like we don't. I'm making it like we have a crisis. We don't. I've been at companies that do that. It's just insane. Um,
Really?
and so you got to think about
Okay. Yeah.
the cost savings of every employee who's and if you've got some intranet that has a bad search functionality, people spend 30 minutes a day maybe wasted searching
My,
for documents that should be front and center. Like that itself is like you take
interesting. Yeah.
you know
My friend was telling me he wanted this. He works at AbbVie, the biotech company. He was saying I have to go on these two third-party websites to look at employees and get their title and contact information for the same company. And he
yeah.
wanted something that was like, yeah,
Oh yeah, because they had a big merger and stuff. Yeah, I had a friend that worked there. So what
interesting.
need what features would you need to pay 50?
Yeah, it's almost like an intelligent Google Docs or something.
Yes, but I've got to figure out, also
Right.
wellness angle to it. Um,
Yeah, right here.
I mean, I don't know how you're going to play this, but like to me, the other thing that workers need, especially remote workers, but really any workers that are a little bit more junior, is they generally tend to need help with what's the priority for today.
Yeah,
And then a way to kind of crowdsource information um, that allows them to learn but also save face. And that
interesting.
requires that, you know, private, like I was saying before, right? But at the same time, you kind of want to have some of those. You can depersonalize it somehow. Like you really use AI to like change the voices and everything. Like, you know, no, I'm just saying, like some of that information could actually become part of the knowledge base, right? Like you could almost use these hangout sessions that people have to learn to be part of a knowledge base over time.
Oh, yeah, yeah. What do you call it? That finance company does that. What do you call it? Dalio. They keep all the recordings and everything so people can go listen for it and search.
Wow.
Um,
Man, I think that's about all I have for today. But
okay. Yeah, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was awesome.
you have everything you need from this.
Uh, yeah, so I mean, did you want to do a letter of intent postmarked in a future date?
All right, cool. I lost you for a little bit. I don't know if that's my side or your side, but
Probably mess up.
let you put this unlisted on YouTube. Please don't add my name. I'm wanted in 7 states. Peace.
What? Later.
Have a good one, man. Good job. Good
Uh,
luck.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Talk to you later.